What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. As that just popped up and told you, it's your guy, Sir Love, and it's another episode of Ask Sir Love. I hope this is going to be a dope episode. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about today's question, so let's jump into it. Today's question comes from Kelvin Levy. Kelvin Levy says, please, what is your view about licensing deals for independent record labels to a major record label? Do you think this type of deal is beneficial or not? Do I think it's beneficial that an independent record label should license their music to a major record label? The answer to that is it depends. Most of the time, the answer is probably going to be yes, though. All right. I'm leaning 80-20 toward yes. Let me tell you why. Because you said licensing, right? In a licensing deal, you're pretty much going in and you're depicting how the deal is going to be done. You're not doing a publishing deal. You're doing a licensing deal. Licensing would then say that I would stipulate that I'm giving you access to my intellectual property, right? For X amount of time in exchange for X amount of dollars, and or please see the difference. Like, it can be that plus, or it could just be or this, right? Or a licensed rate return on whatever you're getting ready to do. So what does that mean, right? Let's take it to something simple that we all understand. T-shirts, right? I have a trademark on a album cover, and I want to license the image of the album cover to a person that makes T-shirts. I can say, hey, in order to use this album cover, you have to pay me 10 grand up front. And additionally, I want to get $2 per T-shirt you sell. And the company can say, great, I gave you the 10 grand. We know because your album cover is so popular that the moment we put this album cover on a shirt, that it's going to sell like hotcakes because we already have distribution in all these different stores and malls all over the country. And we'll do that deal with you, right? Boom. Deal's done. You get your 10 grand up front, and then of course you're going to have to audit them on the back end and make sure that you're getting everything that you get from the T-shirt sales. Right? That's a licensing deal. That's one way to structure it. The exact same thing could happen with your music. It's, hey, you want to use my songs? You want to use my catalogs? I think you said catalog. Did you say catalog? You did not say catalog, right? But typically when you do a licensing deal, it's going to be a catalog when you do it with a major record label, because the major record label is probably not going to do the deal directly. It's not going to be done with the record label side. It's typically going to be done with the publishing side. So if you're doing the deal with Warner, they're going to send you to Warner Chapel, right? Or Sony, you got Sony ATV, you got anyway. If you're doing the deal, you're going to go through the publishing arm of the label, right? They're not going to typically want one record, unless the record is just a huge smash. And if the record's a huge smash and the label comes in, the label on the label side, not the publishing side, on the label side, the label's just going to want to buy out the record and put you in a single deal, right? If you're going and getting a licensing deal, they probably want a catalog of records. So you have an album or a couple of albums, or if you're an independent record label, then you have multiple artists with multiple albums, and they have a catalog of shit that the label or publishing company wants to work with, and they're going to do some type of deal with you. In this space, it's going to look like, hey, we're going to help shop your music and basically make your music make more money, and we want to do some type of licensing deal on behalf of, in regards to that. And so they might want to do a 70-30 split, or maybe they're going to do a 50-50 split, or whatever the split's going to be, but you still retain ownership over everything. They'll give you an advance for using it, or maybe they won't. And either way, you're going to make money off of however they're working the record. Most of the time, licensing deals are non-exclusive, which means you can also license the same records with other people, and they don't have any type of ownership, right? To get deeper into that, honestly, and I keep sending you guys back to a resource, but I do these resources for a reason. Come here and type in publishing. This is the website, phasevi.com. because I talk about these types of deals, licensing deals, publishing deals, co-publishing deals, song deals, like all sorts of different deals. You should grab this, the Get Paid for Music Bundle Pack, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 breaks down the copyrights, part 2 breaks down the publishing and how it works. If you just get part 2, there's going to be a lot of crap that you don't understand that comes from part 1 unless you already have a basic fundamental baseline of copyrights, right? Because copyrights not only breaks down how copyrights works, but it breaks down the implications of what it would mean long term. And I'm breaking this stuff down in real language. I'm talking in the book like I'm talking right now to you. It's not all, literary. I wanted to make it very easy to understand. In this one, it will break down, will give you more insight on how to negotiate, what type of deal you want to go after, why you're going to go after this deal, how to understand the deal, right? So that you can understand what you're negotiating, all that type of stuff. So the information is available for you. Of course, you can get them individually if you don't want them both. But all this is available for you. It looks better if I blow it up and it's not half the screen, but it is what it is, right? So please go to the website, check that stuff out, because that will help you in your process of trying to figure out how to do the deal, whether or not you should do the deal, how to think about the deal. And if you brought an attorney in, it'll give you the right questions to ask, especially if you're working with an attorney for the first time and have a relationship with them. Of course, it's their job to advise you, but a person can only advise you as much as you ask, right? The better questions you ask, the better advice you get. The more questions you ask that are good questions, the better advice you get. And if you don't know the right questions to ask, you don't have a thought process on what to approach, on how to approach it, then the deal may not happen. There have been many times when I'm talking to an attorney and they say we should do it like this because this, and this, and they're telling me the standard thing they do with everyone that they work with. And then I go, how come we can't do it like this? And they may say, I haven't thought about it like that, right? Well, let's try it. There's been a bunch of times where I've tried new things and got what I wanted. And it's because I thought of a new way to approach the same situation, even in accounting. It's like, well, why do we have to do it like that? Right? Why can't we write this off and move this like that? And the accountant will go, that could work. And I go, oh, well, can we try it? The more you know, the better you can navigate and move. So it's good to have your own information. It's good to learn on your own. And I hope, Kelvin, this was helpful to answering your question. I believe that I did answer your question. And remember, I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. And I'm always trying to give you guys everything that I got. And in exchange, only thing that I ask you to do is share this, right? Set the notifications, subscribe, let people know I exist. Help me get this message out to more people like you so I can continue answering dope questions. We just talked about dope questions. You had a great question, Kelvin. There's probably other people that have great questions as well. And I would love it if you was to take this clip and share it to as many people as possible as a way of saying thank you for doing the video, Sir Love, and let other people know that I'm out here helping, all right? I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm Sir Love, and I am out. Peace.